via the platform to the two candidates, as a way of further selling their platforms and manifestos. And so, I've been speaking with the two candidates, Mr. Medeke Boape and also Mrs. Fatah Donso Salif, the two contenders in the presidential race. Of course, the two consented and agreed. You know, we here at LBS, we did the flyers of the two. Uh, as I speak to you, one of the presidential candidates is here. Mr. Medeke Boape is currently in studio. Mrs. Fanta Donso Salif, who consented to be here. Uh, as it stands, she hasn't come yet, but I'm very, very well sure that she will come later on. I've placed calls, I've called uh, uh, at least 5 times now. The phone keeps ringing, and so Nikos Andrews, who just left from here as my guest, is a veteran journalist, and I thought because I don't want to transgress, you know, or go against the ethics of journalism. So I asked him, well, this is the case. One of the presidential candidates is here. Can I start the interview, with the candidates that's present? He said, of course, radio is time. It's time. The interview will continue up to 9:30. 9:30, we have another interview. All right. So this is where we are. So this is not about giving the leverage to one of the presidential candidates. As a matter of fact, I have no interest. Of course, I'm a member of the senior class, but I don't have interest in the election. So Mr. Medeke Boape is in studio. We will start with him. I pray and hope that Mrs. Salif comes in studio, even if she can make her point by way of phone. That would be very good as well, because the essence of this is to give the platform to further sell your manifesto and just to play my part as a member of the class and having this great opportunity. Uh, with that said, I'd like to say a very pleasant good morning to you, Medeke Boape. How are you?
Good morning, veteran journalist Vafli Kamara, and good morning to the student masses on the campuses of United Methodist University, and good morning to the students of Liberia in general.
How are you?
I'm okay, and I'm overwhelmed, and I'm excited to honor such an invitation from one of Liberia's funniest journalists, one person who I've admired so much in the media landscape throughout the length and breadth of Liberia, and by extension, somebody who I've always admired. One time I listened to you interviewing the U.S. ambassador and that of the Chinese ambassador. So I'm excited and to honor such an invitation, and I extend 100 salute your way.
Thank you. Tell us more about yourself and how you've ended up to where you are now. Want to be a president of the graduating class, the senior class of UMU.
Thank you very much, Chief. And in 2018, I graduated from Miss Lawrence Kala High School in Kanta City, Nimakante, and I enrolled at the United Methodist University the same year. When we entered the United Methodist University, we joined a team of intellectual meditation brigade, wherein we were exposed to the politics on the university campuses. And we joined this institution to advocate on behalf of the ordinary student masses on the university campuses. And we were successful in joining this institution to checkmate every contradiction on the university campuses. So We have worked with the institution. I served the freshman class diligently. We work with the ordinary students on university campuses. It did not stop there. During our sophomore year, we were with the students. And during our junior year, I was elected as president of the junior class. And by extension, the vice president for the student government. Now I'm the acting president of UMU. And I'm also contesting for the presidency to be president proper of the student government and the 19th graduating class of the United Methodist University. I've worked at the level of the Liberia National Student Union. I've worked at the level of the Student Education Party, even though I'm not a student of the University of Liberia. I've also worked with the Federation of Liberian Youth, and I'm working with the president. I'm in the office of the #1 youth of this country. So I believe and I have the experience to lead and deliver the 19th graduating class of UMU.
Okay, we'll come to that. Just to inform our listeners, I just received a call from Mrs. Salif. Well, she's informed me that she's unable to come in studio. Now I asked her, can you make your point through by way of phone? Well, she promised to call me back. So there where we are. Now, Meleke, why have you decided to contest as president of the senior class? What has driven your motivation and your intention?
Thank you so much. One, when you are elected, or if I'm elected as president of the 19th graduating class, and by extension the student government, automatically I am a member of the National Administrative Council of Liberia National Student Union. And there, my role will be to advocate on the behalf of the students of the Republic of Liberia and to push or foster the interests of UMU students at the level of the national student movement. And another thing, we have witnessed several graduations on the United Methodist University campuses. And I believe there are challenges that students have been facing. I have studied those challenges and have solutions to those problems. What are those challenges and what are the solutions? One, the issue of souvenirs. Students have been paying for souvenir materials, but they do not receive them in time. I believe that when I'm elected as president of the graduating class, every material that students will pay for will be well received. At the level of the student union, I am going to adequately represent the student of UMU. And I want to create an avenue for a smooth working relationship because I will serve as a conduit between the school administration and that of the student body. I will relate the challenges students are facing with the administration and how we could resolve those issues that students are faced with on the university campus. For example, during registration process, we believe that the workers, they go through a lot of challenges. So I would recommend to the school administration that there should be some students who will help the administration in doing that work. For example, during registration process, students registering to enroll in UMU, and then people in admission, because maybe they will not be capacitated to do everybody's job at the same time, and the students will be in their mass. So there are some senior students who recommend to the school administration that those students should help the admission office in receiving the documents of those students who want to enroll and receiving admission letter from the dean of admission to give to students who will be enrolling at the university to help make the working relationship look smooth so that things can be on course and our students can enroll in time at the level of the university. And they issued a conflicted schedule. If I am a student of UMU, there are days by which students will plan their courses, and then due to some issues they will have two courses at the same time in the same classroom. We will also recommend to the administration, particularly the dean of admission, that there should be some students who will be represented during the fixing of various schedule for that identical semester so that we can avoid the issue of conflicted schedule.
Now, you've listed a lot of things, Meleke. I mean, do you have a set platform, an agenda? Do you have an agenda, a manifesto, and do you have a clear vision as to how you are going to go about with your vision?
Yes, thank you so much. Like I said, we have a platform because when you are elected as the president of the university, you are also the president of that graduating class for as long as you are a senior student. Just lays the issue about the souvenir materials. The students are going to receive the souvenir materials in time, and what they pay for, they are going to receive them.
Are there been past problems with souvenir materials? Because you serve as vice president. Were there problems during, the immediate president with the souvenir issue, with that which you've taken keen interest in?
Yes, according to the 10th edition of the student handbook, from page 17 to 19, where a differentiate the class's leadership from the student government. There have been challenges from senior classes. Even though I did not work at the level of the senior class because last semester I was a junior student, I realized that students pay for what they should have received, but most of them didn't receive what they pay for. And I believe that some of them were
So you take blame. You take blame for that particular failing of the past administration as vice president.
I worked as vice president at the level of the council, but I did not work as vice president of the senior class. This is the leadership of UMU Student Council. Every
So
class,
you're trying to avoid the failing.
the fail of the past graduating class, but not the council.
But how can you distinguish between the graduating class and the council?
Very good. Thank you so much. The graduating class is strictly related to graduation activities. That is, they have the president, they have the vice president, they have the secretary general, and they have their financial secretary. At the level of the student council, there are 4 persons who made all the student council government: the freshman class president, the sophomore class president, the junior class president, and the senior class president. They made up the student government. Excluding the student government, there are classes leadership, and those leaders, they steer the affairs of their various classes. So the lapses came from the senior class, and it did not come from the student council government. The student representative council, they got no role to play in graduation matters because the 3 presidents who joined the senior class president to make the student council leadership, right? They are not graduating seniors. only graduating seniors are allowed to form part or participate in graduation class or graduating class matter.
Okay, let's stick with the council. What did you do at the level of the council for which the students should elect you? Senior students should elect you now as president.
Thank you very much. When I entered our school, the 2018, I heard that students' activities were being banned because there were no student leadership and politics were being banned after students protested for a lot of issues and administration found general reasons and why they should ban student politics. When I won last semester as vice president of the student representative council or the student government and president of the junior class, as part of my responsibility, we managed to reinstate the Ganta trip that we in our activities fees. We managed to wreck the school administration to reinstate the Miss UMU Beauty Pageant. You know, there are many young girls on the university campus who got the ambition to contest for the highest beauty crown in Liberia, that is Miss Liberia. And how do they start? They have to start from contesting for the beauty pageant position in their various institutions from there before they are sent. So we wrote the school administration that they should see how best they could reinstate the Miss UMU Beauty Pageant and reinstate the head. Now, activities that were being banned for 4 years. When I won as vice president, heads of programs and events, we managed to reinstate those activities.
What are those?
To the Ganta trip. I think you can see the list here. First time in the history of UMU for a student leadership to carry over 608 students to Ganta. We have never caused more than 200 students. But as part of my responsibility as vice president, I managed to carry 608 students to Ganta and I brought them back safely. Though everything was not rosy, but thankfully we arrived safely. Students enjoy what they have been paying for and they benefited from their activities fees. Now, we wrote the school administration in reinstating the Miss UMU Beauty Party. They have reinstated it. Anybody who wins this semester automatically launch the Miss UMU Beauty Party. Those two activities were serious activities that the student government have been generating resources for to carry on projects that would beautify the university. It did not stop there. The last time I checked, the last class that carried or television on the university campus for students to follow international news and be updated on what is happening in and out of Liberia was a class of Ja Woluba Bien. After he left, I think almost 5 to 6 years ago, and our leadership as president of the junior class who carry television on the university campus, students are following international news. It didn't stop there. I wrote Marco Do Tepesi, a graduate of UMU.
Why are you personalizing these achievements?
I'm personalizing those achievements because
It's not a trait of a leader to personalize.
because you asked a question on why should I be elected and what are some of the things I did at the level of the council that I think my colleagues should elect me. So this is why I'm laying an excessive emphasis on our achievements to justify the reality that we have worked over the past time. We have worked for the students because we were employed by the students democratically. So we believe that they should give us a second mandate and we work for them and will never disappoint them.
So what happened at the level of the student council government during your time as vice president that you are not proud of, that you regret today?
That my only regret is the handbook did not give me, or the handbook doesn't give the vice president the authority to interfere in graduating class matter.
Was the handbook developed during your time?
No.
That was developed ever since. I mean,
Yes.
what are things that you, as members of the council, leadership, what are things that you did that you are not proud of today? Wrong things.
No. The council did not do any wrong. The council worked in the interest of the ordinary students. The council advocated on behalf of the students. The only lapses of last semester leadership on the university campus was the issue of a graduating class, and the council got no right to interfere except for the president of the senior class, who is a member of the graduating class. So the freshman class president, the sophomore class president, and me, the outgoing junior class president, we got no lapses. We succeeded. Yes, we work in the interest of the students, and we believe that the students should give us a second mandate, and we will work for them again.
How, what's the relationship like between you and the administration of UMU?
I have a very good working relationship with the school administration, with all the vice presidents, and even the president of the university. So many things I have put forth before them, and they have approved it. Not because they just want to approve, but because they believe that I am the number one student on the university campus. Because currently I'm the acting president of the university. So or technically, I'm the number one student in the university campus. And I serve as a liaison between the school administration and the students. So they create the avenue for me, and they accept my recommendations. And they also recommend to me that I should create an avenue for a smooth working relationship between the students and that of the administration. And we have been doing that time without numbers. I think the last communication I wrote to the president was after maybe there was a delay in the punching of grades within the system. I think you experienced that this going semester. The beginning of this semester, when students are not seeing a grade due to some technical issue from the computer room. And we wrote the school administration. In less than 24 hours, students started to punch their grades in. Sorry, that the computer room, people within the computer room started to punch students' grades in, and students started to subscribe to the tenets of the registration process. And I believe if I did not have a good working relationship with them, or if they do not confide in me as the number one student on the university campus, I don't think they could have exercised leadership exceptionally by giving that mandate to the admission office to punch in the grades of the students. So I believe that because I have a very good working relationship with them, everything I recommend that should transform the university, especially for the better, they find reason, they see reason in accepting it. And if I win, I will go to them and tell them I have won. Madam President, Mr. Vice President, let's create an avenue that students will share some of the challenges they are facing and see how best you people can resolve those challenges. But to be real, the school administration, they are doing their best. No generation succeeds completely and no generation fails completely. They have worked at some level. The president, Dr. Gono, she has worked for the past time. Now she has spent less than 1 year on the university campus, and she has worked exceptionally. So we should show her that courtesy. We should send her 100 salute for the level of work she has done at UMU. And I do believe that on Friday, tomorrow, when I'm announced as president-elect of the graduating class, I will go to her and say, Madam President, we have won. How can we lead? She will give her experiences, she will give her advices, and we will deliver the 90th graduating class, especially for the better.
Okay, so you're listening to the Super Morning Show on ELBC Radio. I have with me Mr. Meleke Boape. He's a presidential candidate in the senior class election of the United Methodist University. we are unable to have in studio Mrs. Fata Donso Saliv, his main contender, but she has agreed to make her point, speak to us by way of phone. She apologized for not, making it in studio due to some problems beyond her control. However, we still accept, her call and trying to sell her platform as well. Before we any moment from now we will be taking call from Mrs. Salif. Uh, Mr. Boape, the United Methodist University has several campuses. I think we have one. The main campus is in Monrovia. The Banga Theology School, the GST in Banga Bon County, uh, the nursing school in Ganta. Do we have the agriculture campus in Sano County? What are the common challenges you face with these, or you've known with these campuses across? Are there similarities in the challenges and how you intend to, when elected or if elected, how do you intend to work along with administration, especially with regards to challenges that affect the student population?
Thank you so much. We have 5 campuses in Liberia, and UMU is the most decentralized university in Liberia, most decentralized private university. And the students of Ganta, Nima County, we have a very good working relationship, same as Sano. And the challenges that we face on main campus are similar challenges they too face. For example, the issue about computer, right? The issue about students receiving grades in time. Similar challenges we face on main campus, they too are facing those challenges. And how do I intend to lead this class?
That does not fall within your domain, though. It's more administrative.
Yes, that is why I will be a conduit or a liaison between the school administration and the students to relate student related matters to the school administration and to see how best they can resolve them. Ganta campus, Banga, Sano, and my GB campus. This is it. We will decentralize the meetings to get the views, the inputs, their thoughts on how we too should steer the affairs of the class. When I was junior class president, we had a meeting in Ganta with junior students. We had a meeting in Banga. We also had a meeting in Domax, and the only place we did not have meeting was Sano County because I was not capacitated to go there, and due to the road conditions, I couldn't make my way there. But we have been speaking with those students on via telephone, and we have gotten the views on how we should lead a class. Even the issue about television being carried on university campus, it was a decision that encompasses of all of the campuses that we got the views of students and they voted upon it and the majority will prevail. So we have to carry television on university campus. So if I win, every campus will be represented on every committee of the graduating class to see how best every campus can be represented and be a part of the decision-making processes.
Is there something being lacking in that direction?
Yes, the decisions, most especially, I've witnessed over the time that it has been, though it did not come from our leadership or it was never established from our leadership, right? But I've witnessed over the past time that some people, they make the decision on main campus, and after the decision have been made, the rest of the campuses will have no other alternative but to subscribe to the decisions made by main campus. So for me, I believe that decentralizing the leadership will serve as a representation of achievement for the class. So I believe one of the reasons I am contesting this election is to have every person who will be or who is a senior student to form part of the decision making process.
Okay.
And to the senior students, every decision or every vendor or any vendor that we are going to do business with a graduating class, we are going to invite that vendor. He or she gonna print or design a sample of the materials you are going to use for your class night. And those materials will not be sent via WhatsApp as a graphic design, but rather to be seen physically within our meeting. And if you agreed, we instruct that vendor to go and print those materials in a mark. So it shows that the decision is being inclusive and not exclusive of those on the rest of the campuses. Okay. And we are not going to make a selective decision, but rather a decision that will encompass of all of the campuses, and everyone must have a say in this leadership.
Okay, this is the Super Morning Show on ELBC Radio. We're still making contact with Mrs. Salif, just to get her through to make her point. However, we'll take calls, students or the public following the show can just make their points. You can call us on 080514096, 080514096, 07705818886 or 07705818886. Let's hear from this first caller. Good morning.
Good morning, Bali, and good morning to our incoming president of the United Meta University.
Let's hear you.
My name is Victor Emmanuel Dobo, and I'm calling presently from the main campus of the United Meta University.
Go ahead briefly. You have 30 seconds.
Thank you. This is very clear. Medicare Boapi has been the voice of the students, and Medicare Boapi has been advocating tirelessly to ensure that things on the campus and the campuses of United Meta University working along with the students. So we are waiting our opposition today on campus. But as it stands, victory for Team Medicare.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Let's hear from this person. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. What's your name?
Senior student in National University. I call from Jesus Patrick.
Let's hear you.
I just want to make some correction. Medicare stated that the man has spent less than a year. That's not true. She has made 1 year plus on the campus as president of the National University. And then secondly, Medicare preached a message on the campus that the president and the entire administration are not supporting him, but supporting Mrs. Fatah Donto Salif. So how can Medicare sit on that unique platform to tell the student public that he and the administration have a very good working relationship?
Okay.
When he is passing around telling the students that the administration are not in his favor.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Morning. What's your name?
Yeah, this is George Cole, and I call from the United Methodist University campus.
Let's hear you quickly.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised that Medicare was already saying when there are issues within the government where he served. For example, the issue of the souvenir, he in particular got a photograph on him that he was selling some of those souvenir materials. And now that is the point where the issue of souvenir is trying to already himself.
Okay, he will address himself to that. Let's call us on 07705818886. Let's hear from this person. Good morning.
Good morning, family. This is Lennox Collison Colley, Vice Presidential Candidate.
Yeah, let's hear you.
So thank you to Mr. Boapi. He made several points, and which of course I want to make some clarity. One, he talks about acting president. Mr. Boapi is no longer the acting president. He is a candidate. For the fact that election campaign has opened, and today we are going to debate, he is a candidate and there's no acting president. And he also talked about several things, including challenges. You asked him a question wherein whether he had faced any challenges, and he said, no, there has been no challenges. And then later he came in to say that there's a challenge demoted because he didn't resign and he's contradicting us.
Okay.
Now, if he said that he had meeting in Banga and Dumata, I challenge Mr. Babe to bring any meeting minutes
Okay.
from Banga and Kaka. Lastly, before I leave. Now,
Yeah, go ahead quickly.
if you look at the rules and regulations about student handbook, the 10th edition, it gives the right to electing female into power. So, Mr. Fatah Rosary is the only option. Come to the
Okay.
campus of the United Methodist University and listen to the platform. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So, Meleke, we're already out of time. So, briefly, you can just respond to these concerns.
Yeah, well, let me first start with the brother who said he has a photograph on me selling souvenir materials. And I want to say this very, very clear, emphatically clear, and to be very, very crystal clear. We are going for the debate. We will spare no one, we will leave no stone untouched, and we unveil the reality. The unwritten truth will be told today. And anybody who carry or bring in a photograph of me selling souvenir materials today, I will resign as the acting president of university and also resign as presidential candidate and support whosoever they want me to support. I hope you can keep me on record, and I challenge that individual to bring the photograph of Meneke selling souvenir materials. And another issue to the George Cole, one individual who I think he knows me, but I do not know him. And he talked about how can I exonerate myself from the past. The thing is simple, right? Firstly, there are days by which people who claims to be intellectual and people who follow the day-to-day affairs of the leadership on the university campus. It is sad that some people up to now they still do not understand how the leadership works on the university campus. The senior class leadership is different from the student government.
Okay.
I work at the level of the student government and I did not work at the level of the senior class. Today in the debate, the meeting minutes from Banta, from Domatan, all around, those meeting minutes will be displayed to the student. I think these are the meeting
Well,
minutes.
Meleke, thank you so much. We have to go. We have
Thank
have
you.
another guest. Thank you so much for honoring my invitation.
And thank you so much, and to the students of the UMU, please make your way on main campus, wherein we are going to debate issues on why we should be elected to study affairs of a graduate degree. Thank you, and good morning to the student masses of Liberia.
Well, he's Meleke Boape, the presidential candidate in the senior class election of the United Methodist University. He's been my guest. Very shortly, we'll be